What's going on, everybody? So it's hard to believe, but another month has come and gone. Uh, September was full of some really, really great releases, but it's time for me to announce my top picks. And forgive my voice, it's kind of a funny story. Well, I've been sick the last few days, but last week I went to see Sabaton and Epica in Atlanta with my brother, the King of Pikmin, and we had a really great time. But it's funny, the hotel room, it was kind of like this small hotel room and whatnot because it can be pricey down there in Atlanta. But I went to the restroom and I saw that what looked like there was like mold, like in the bathroom, like up on the ceiling and all that kind of stuff. And so I came out and I told my brother, I was like, dude, there's mold in the bathroom in here, and he's like, no way, dude. Like, there's no way that there's that mold in there. He went and looked, he's like, there's no way. And then so he like, I went and I sat down, and then he's like, oh, dude, you're right. He's like looking at his phone, and he like Googled like black mold, and it looked exactly like what was there in the bath. I was like, dude, I told you. And and then I saw that there was even more than I originally thought. And so we were joking, like, what if we get like violently ill from this? And we only stayed there one night, but so it was just kind of like, I don't know. It is what it is. But it wasn't like a super rundown hotel either. I'm not gonna like say the name just not to like slander the hotel or whatnot. But it's like a name brand hotel. Just that looked nice. The lobby, everything was like nice. But there was that in there, and so it was curious. But yeah, we were just like joking. What if we get violently ill? Like, should we sue them and all this stuff? And I was like, nothing's even gonna happen. And then a couple days after, like, I get really sick. I don't know if it was the black mold or not, but my brother, the King of Pigment, fear not everyone, he is doing well. He has remained healthy. So it looks like I was the only victim here. But yeah, I'm on the mend now. It's just, my voice, it just sounds like even more garbage than usual. So I apologize for that. I just thought that was a little funny anecdote in the life of the Power Metal Ranger, but the concert was a lot of fun and whatnot, so we had a good time. Yeah, and now I have like a fun story to tell about the fact that I probably got violently ill over some black mold in a hotel room. Anywho, that's what you get when trying to go to concerts at, in different towns. And I mean, it's just the life. I'm sure bands know all about it, that touring life and all that stuff. I'm sure so many bands have some great stories of some crazy stuff they've found in random hotels and just whatever. But anywho, yeah, so that's that. But let's talk about September, the month of September, and the releases. Now, y'all know, I put in the description down below every single album that I listened to from the month of September. So y'all can check that out, see if there's anything you hadn't heard of before, go listen to stuff that seems interesting to you. And as far as songs go, I put down, just a sampling of stuff I listened to off channel. I don't include any songs down there that I did a reaction to because the reactions there, but songs I listened to off channel that I thought were of note. It's not an all-inclusive list. Like I said, it's just a lot of stuff that I thought, was good for one reason or another, or, would want to mention down in there. And I also put the link to the original video, so you can just click that and go right to the band's, video or whatnot, and have fun just exploring some music that maybe you missed or whatnot. All I ask is if you go and check out any of those songs in the comments for that video, go ahead and tell them Power Metal Ranger sent you. That'd be super cool. But anywho, that's that. Let's talk about songs here. I don't include just random songs. The song's got to be released as a single of some kind, a music video, lyric video, official audio, but it's got to be like a single, not just the band just put every song off the album like up on YouTube's or whatnot. It's got to be an actual single for me to include it. So yeah, I believe that's the business out of the way. So what were my top 5 favorite songs of September 2022? Well, in no particular order, we got Woods of Wonders with the Pirate Queens. Next up, we got Flower Leaf with the Sound of Time. Next, we got Ascension with Sayonara. Next up, Tales of Arkan with Allegory. And last but not least, we got Therion with Marajin Min Nar. So there you go. Those are my top five favorite songs released in the month of September. It was tough narrowing that down. There was just so much good stuff. This year we just been, I know I say this every single month, but we were just being so treated so well, us power and symphonic metal fans, melodic rock fans. It's ridiculous. But anywho, so those are my top five. But as the Highlander says, there can be only one. So, and this was really difficult too, folks. I narrowed down these top five, but then I had to pick my number one favorite song. So, anywho, my number one pick for best song of September is Therion with Marajin Min Nar. That song is just so epic. Therion has been killing it with these latest singles. I cannot wait for their new album, Leviathan Part 2. The quality of Therion has not dwindled whatsoever over the years. They remain pretty consistent, and in particular, I enjoyed Leviathan quite a bit, but Leviathan 2 is shaping up to be even better than that and just so epic. I mean, just all their songs are just so good. Pazuzu was incredible, and this for September, I gotta give my top pick to Marjin Minnar. It's just so epic. It just has such a great sound to it. Uh, just so good. Every time I start the song, it's just like I'm like, the song is just so good, so good. So there you have it. That's my pick for best song of September. Now on to best albums. For albums, I don't include live albums or like remasters or like collected editions or anything like that. It's got to be or EPs. I don't include either. It's got to be new full length album for me to include it because as it is, as you see, there's so many albums I listen to as it is. I have to like have some sort of um, what's the word parameters, I guess, that I stay within so that I stay somewhat sane. But yeah, this month it was insanely difficult for me to narrow down the top five. So there was some incredible stuff, but one thing I will say, and I won't pick out any, but there were some disappointments as well, some surprising disappointments that, for me personally, I was expecting more from. But again, I'm not going to sit here and dumpster any album or whatnot. You wouldn't tell me to lose some. That's the way it is. But yeah, so it was just an interesting month because there was so much incredible stuff. But then there was, more so than I think some of the other months, things that kind of disappointed me that I expected greater things from. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. My top five picks for best album of September in no particular order. We got Blind Guardian with The God Machine. We got Etwas with Enochian Keys Chapter 1. We got Silent Night with Full Force. We got Terra Atlantica with Beyond the Borders. And last but not least, we got Stradivarius with Survive. So those are my top five picks for best albums of September 2022. And another thing I will say here, folks, is, well, as you all know, as the Highlander says, there can be only one. So I'm going to tell y'all my number one pick. But once I narrowed down these top five, in particular, there were two that were in the running for number one. And I narrowed it down to those two, and it took me forever. I kept going back to each album trying to figure out, okay, which one gets the edge here. I was just having a heck of a time, and I won't tell you what the second one is because that's just not fair to the others. But there were two that I was just, oh man, having a heck of a time. But finally, I made a decision. I picked a number one, and yeah. So my pick for best album of September 2022 is Terra Atlantica with Beyond the Borders. What can this album truly blew me away. It's got everything. It's got everything in there that that a power metal fan loves. It starts out really strong. It hooks you right from the beginning. And you get the Scarlet Banners, which is a real nice, almost like anthemic, melodic song, and it's just so great. And from there, it's the whole album is like this journey that it's taking you through, and it's got its ups and downs. It's got its moments of like faster pace. It's got the fun jig-worthy, the Pirate Bay. It's got the more like ballad type of songs, like the romantic like duet. It's just got so much. It just creates this image. You can almost see this movie playing out in your mind, like this animated Disney movie playing out in your mind as the album goes through. And they utilize so many different things, so many symphonic elements, and just with the song structures and just the songwriting is on point. The vision was just. I feel like the initial vision of the album was quite like optimistic or whatnot. Like, how do we fully realize this? But I mean, they pulled it off in spades. Like I said, it's just got everything in there that one could really ask for, and it's so diverse, and again, it just takes you to another world, and it just blew me away, and so that's why in particular that one gets the edge. The vocals are great, musicianship is great. Again, symphonic elements are great, song structures, song types, song variety, the storytelling aspect. It's just absolutely phenomenal album. So that's my pick for best album of September. Yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments down below, what were your top songs? What were your favorite songs and albums of September? Let's talk about it down in the comments below. I love that. I love hearing what you guys were digging each month. And yeah, I believe that's what I got for y'all. So thank you so incredibly much for tuning in. I'll catch you next time, Ranger.